Welcome back to the GoEngineer 3D Experience Tutorials YouTube channel. I'm Jared Trotter, one of the application engineers, and in today's video we're going to look at XGenerative Design's ability to create three-dimensional color geometry from a two-dimensional image. Before we get started, make sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. In previous videos on XGenerative Design, we've explored creating complex patterns that would be nigh impossible in standard parametric modeling. But what if the pattern is actually a picture, which is a complex collection of different colored pixels? As you can see, I already have a new part started in XGen, and I'm going to do this whole process start to finish for full transparency. Speaking of transparency, when I click on the display graph, you'll notice that we can still see the graphics area. That's because I'm using the overlay option rather than docking, so that we can use one full screen for both the graph and the model. Now the image I have in mind will be in the shape of a rectangle, so we'll use the rectangular grid tool. The size X and size Y inputs of this node will drive the size of the overall image, but the points will correspond to the number of pixels. So at this point, I'll transition to working with the actual image. Unaltered, this image is a bit large, so I want to bring the pixel count down. I can do this by inserting a resize image node. The pixel count is now more manageable and appropriate for this example. I'll turn on the points visibility so we can begin to see what's happening. Now that we have points, I'll make some spheres in those locations and size them so that they just about touch. The spheres could also be rectangles or any other desired geometry. With the spheres in place, the next step is to color them according to the pixels from the image. The Get Pixels node gathers the RGB values of each pixel, organizes them in a table, and then I can just plug those values into the Colorize node. Now the colors are together and the geometry that we want to apply to it is in place. So let's connect the two. I see there's an error on my Colorize node, and the error is that structures are incompatible. So one of my matrices needs to be flipped. One way to handle this is to just insert a transpose node onto the rectangular grid so that the height becomes the width and vice versa. I also could have just switched the inputs going to the rectangular grid node, but either way, now the structures are compatible and we have a full image composed of the colored spheres. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and leave us a comment below if you have a topic you'd like us to cover in a future video. Visit our website, goengineer.com, for access to professional training, upcoming events, and more from your #1 online technical resource. See you next time.